Hi everyone, it's Robin. I have a mini album to share with you. This one is nautical themed. I had somebody contact me, one of my mom's friends, and asking if I would make a seashell themed mini album in red, white, and beige. This is the one I'm making for her, but I decided to go ahead and make two. And I found this pattern paper after I had already started this one. So this one has the red crackle, the red acrylic paint on there, and then the starfish. So this one's not done. I'll show you that when it's all finished. But this one I have made for my store. The paper collection that I have used is Beach House by Bazzill. It's brand new, just new release from CHA, and just starting to hit the shelves of some of our favorite retailers. And so when I had started her album and then ordered the paper collection for the inside of hers, but I had enough because I had ordered two to go ahead and make another one. So the thing I don't like about the pattern paper is you only get 6 designs. You get two of each paper, and they're front and back, but really you just get 12 sheets of pattern paper, and then in the pack is 10 pieces of coordinating cardstock, all by Bazzill. And some of the cardstock I was questioning whether or not it was coordinating, but you'll see I've used it throughout in this album, trying to just use a lot of reds. But okay, so on the cover here I've used authentic fishing net that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and boy, I had to air this out for several days and sanitize it because it sure smelled like it just came from the sea. But I love that it's, you know, it's been used, I guess, but it is sanitized. And then I added this gorgeous sand dollar. I love those, and some seashells throughout here. And then my husband had drilled some holes in the seashells, and I just picked these up at Hobby Lobby, and added it to a Tim Holtz swivel clasp. There's also a little charm here. And the thing I love about the Tim Holtz swivel clasp is, for this album especially, is that it looks like one of those fishing lures. So I thought that looked really fit in well with the album. Then I just added a little bit of fiber right there. It needed a little something. So on the cover here I've added a trellis rose, some tea roses, 20mm open roses, and then a bunch of aster daisies, skeleton leaf, and again the sand dollar. The spine that I've used is grunge paper, and that's a Tim Holtz product, and I've used it on the edge die. To the grunge paper I inked it and sprayed it with Lindy's, and painted it some, and just did a bunch of different things, and embossed it. So that is the cover. On the inside, all the pattern papers, very, very nautical. I love it. It doesn't have to be a beach theme. It just could be a vacation theme. But photo mat here, this title is Treasures. So I added a little treasure chest there that's a pocket. And a couple of little starfish there. And as you know I like to do, if you've watched my videos, is I like to, when I create this type of an album, I like to title the pages generally, if I have the ones with the flap. And so this one is no exception. This one I've entitled Memories. I sprayed it with some Lindy's Gossamer Gold, and then I also, to each of the titles, I'm doubting it's going to pick it up, but I added crackle accents. I'm not sure. I can see it in mine, but I'm not sure on the screen on YouTube if it'll show. Just added some summer blooms in this cute little umbrella, and I added crackle accents in here in the little umbrella as well. So again, these pattern papers are gorgeous. This seahorse there, so pretty. And then each one has its fold out, pull out flap, so has a space for journaling here, and then a photo mat. And then, again, more of the pattern paper and great size photo mat. This one I have entitled Play, so I had to add a little sand castle, and on the sand I added the crackle accents to that. And then just showed the shells here. And here is a spot for journaling, and more photos, and just some stamping. Okay, super fun. And this one's probably my favorite page. I love that whale. And then, you know, the crab, and just the planking wood grain, and just the whole thing. I love that page. Excuse me. And then this one I have entitled Footprints. Of course, I had to add some flip-flops to that, and I added some crystal stickles, and then some flowers there, and then a seagull, and a couple of summer blooms. I'm going through this kind of quick, so if you have any questions, just let me know. Here's the journaling space for that, and then the photo mat. The stamps that I've used are Stamps of Life, a lot of Fiskars, 7 Gypsies, some Martha Stewart. I was all over the place, close to my heart, a lot of different stamps. I just was pulling whatever was potential, and then I ended up using all of it. So, good size photo mat here. To this one I've added relaxed, and what better way to signify relaxing than having a little palm tree here. And so I cut this using the 2 Cricut cartridges I used for all of my die cutting is, well, the Cricut die cutting is the Life is a Beach and Doodle Charms, and then Plant and Schoolbook for all the fonts. So this was cut from there, and then I crackle accented the little coconuts, and then I used the Swiss Dots embossing folder on the palm leaves. Added a little seagull here, and this flap looks like this, and I've added a little ephemera pocket for hidden journaling or photos. This is just one of those Tim Holtz tickets, and that photo mat looks like that. And then onto the next page, this is, again, gorgeous paper I love so much. This one I have entitled Fun Times, added another sand dollar here, and I embossed that with the Swiss Dots embossing folder, and then inside the little holes here I've added crackle accents, and then another little seagull. So it doesn't have to be beach themed, just nautical or vacation. Here's the journaling area for this one. And then the photo mat. This was a lot of fun, but it did take quite a while with all of the die cutting that I did, and I inked around everything, and then of course it was tedious. I was getting so tired of adding crackle accents to these, but it was so fun, and I like the effect when it's done. So again, the beautiful pattern papers. I added this little seahorse here. This one, as you see, I entitled Sunshine. And then the flap for this one looks like this. This is the last one, and then here's the photo mat for that. Now this paper is, I think it's GCD Studios, because like I'd mentioned earlier, you only get 6 pattern papers, double-sided. Well, you get 2 of each design, but so essentially you have 12 pieces of pattern paper to work with. So I was kind of stretching it. I did get a couple packs, so I have another album that I'm working on. I'll show you a sneak peek of that in a second. This little crab here has a removable photo mat he's holding on to, and a little starfish here. And then this is one of the Maya Road scalloped craft envelopes. Added a couple starfish and silhouettes of some seagulls. This is some Guy Pure lace, and this just opens up, super simple. Has a couple of photo mats in here, again, pretty pattern papers. And then I'm not going to tie that up right now, but then I also added a magnet. And then so there's room for a photo here, and then journaling, and then that just closes back up, and I love that sound. I don't know why. Okay, so that is my first album that I finished with a nautical seashell theme. My husband actually made this. I'm not sure if I'm going to title it here. I was going to, if the lady that I'm making this for wanted this one, because she wanted a seashell theme. But this is just grunge paper, and then my husband took some jute string with the hot glue gun and did that for me. Wasn't that sweet? I really need to use it because he made it for her or for the album. So that's that one. And then so anyway, let me know what you think, and I will have a link to this with more information if you're interested in purchasing this album. I'll have the link in the information bar down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.